Hello and welcome to another episode of the Star Wars. Oh, sorry, wrong show.
Oh man,
I've been doing a lot of stuff. Should we start over?
No, I want that down for the archive.
All right,
Alex, you busted.
We've been doing a lot of Star Wars Minute recording, so my brain is still wired in that sense. So,
take us out of here, Warp Speed 3.
So this is the Godfather Minute, and we're here to talk about minute 26 of The Last Jedi. Oh, wait
Godfather Part 2.
The Last Jedi. Minute 26. Minuto numero... I was going through it in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4. 27?
That's 27.
Oh, 26.
Overshot it.
Sis?
Close.
It's always close to...
It's close to Spanish. Yeah. 26.
Hey.
And every time we get to a 6 number, you always repeat it like that. Just hey. 26.
How is it spelt?
SEI, I think. But it's phonetically like it's like say.
Sure.
Yeah, 26, yeah. Say, yeah.
So are you saying the Michael Jackson Paul McCartney song is 666 in Italian?
Say, what you want?
What you want?
But you're going to hell right along with me.
All right, enough talk about speed metal and Star Wars. Let's talk about minute 26 of Godfather Part 2.
Let's talk.
Minute 26 it starts off with Frankie Pentangeli storming off the stage as the band gleefully plays Pop Goes the Weasel. Is that something that... Well, hold on. So the rest of the minute. Meanwhile, back in Mikey's office... Connie and Merle ask for drinks and passage on the Queen. So getting back to Pop the Weasel before we get to Merle. Merle the Weasel.
Yeah. I do think it's funny how the Pop Goes the Weasel is the entrance music to Merle into
that is
Michael's office.
So as a band member yourself, do you know how to play Pop Goes the Weasel? If this was a situation had happened and the clarinetist started playing Pop Goes the Weasel, would you have the confidence to jump in with the way the band does? On
bass guitar, yes. On drums, yes. On keyboards, yes. If I were playing the melody, I would probably mess it up the first couple times through.
Right, but the band would hopefully cover up. Everyone faking it well enough to.
Oh yeah, boom, 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 boom.
What is this? I want to hear just the bass mix of
just bass and Frankie.
Yeah,
it's boom, 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 boom.
I want to hear the 20-minute version of this song where it's each thing it's a solo and and so on. So,
I would be so honored if he pointed to me on stage. He's like, "You up bass, up, come on."
You would be like, "Oh, he's treating me very poorly."
And I'd go boom, 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 boom.
I like also that the band leader is like conducting the band.
Yeah,
it seems kind of like a beneath his a band leader having to conduct Pop Goes the Weasel seems kind of like an insult to being a band leader.
He kind of picks up right there. It's conducting it, keeping them together. I think he's okay. I'm good. I looked at the expression on his face, and it looked like he was glad that the band was able to put something together based on this audience member's prompting, even though it wasn't exactly what he wanted. I think there was even a little bit of a grin because he didn't expect. I don't think the band leader expected "Pop Goes the Weasel."
Oh, you don't think?
I don't think he expected that song. So when they went into it, he was just like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, you thought he was really worried, like, "Oh my gosh, how are we going to play that song, that Johnny Fontane song he did last time was?"
I mean, he is a band leader. Yeah, I am a band leader.
Yeah, so
I love how the whole band joins in too.
Yeah,
It's just so fun.
and then Frankie storms off the stage.
Did you notice Mama off to the side?
I didn't notice Mama. I did notice Chi-Chi in the
Yeah,
audience.
Mama is smiling and clapping. She's kind of moving her body along with Pop Goes the Weasel. I think she gets a real kick out of it. that Frankie got snubbed, so to speak.
I did look up Pop Goes the Weasel, and you said I did it before.
I think years ago. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering,
Yeah.
but I feel like I don't remember any of this
that's okay.
information, so for
I'll
the
just
sake
copy
of,
the tape from last time and insert it here. Okay, ready? Ready? We're going to insert it now.
Well, no, let's talk about Pop Goes the Weasel now, because I'm all younger, so my voice is all...
Alex, your voice sounds strange. Oh.
Pop Goes the Weasel first made a splash in 1852 in England, and the only lyrics to it were "Pop Goes the Weasel." It had the music, but no lyrics to it, other than "Pop Goes the Weasel."
So it would go like dun 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 dun, and then Pop Goes the Weasel.
And then when they came to that, everyone who was dancing, because they were it was like a dance song.
Oh.
Everyone would go "Pop Goes the Weasel," like repeat it in.
Wow.
It was like the YMCA of its day. Like everyone knew what to do during that one part.
Yeah.
And it became very popular, spread around everywhere.
Do we know who wrote it and what it's about?
No.
Wow.
Well, there's no, it's like a kind of traditional, I guess, would be the author of it.
Yeah. But what does that mean? Pop Goes the Weasel.
Well, that's the thing. All the other lyrics were created for the song, and but they were all created afterwards. So the Pop Goes the Weasel was just the. There's a lot of theories about it. Like it has to do with like Cockney slang. Like Pop Goes the Weasel means like like a weasel was slang for a coat.
Okay.
And just like someone ran out of money, so they had to sell their jackets. They had to sell their coat to get money. So they say "Pop Goes the Weasel," meaning like I had to sell my fancy coat. So
interesting.
Yeah, weird.
That's one thing that it could mean.
Yeah. Interestingly, so
I guess that's a little better than I had to sell my coat.
That definitely sounds like someone making up words to a song and just saying what was going on in their life. So in 1858, this was one version of the lyrics. All around the cobbler's house, the monkey chased the people, and after them in double haste, Pop Goes the Weasel.
Oh.
I don't know what any of that is supposed to mean. In the novel Little House in the Big Woods, Papa Ingalls sings to Laura, all around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel. The preacher kissed the cobbler's wife, Pop Goes the Weasel.
Oh my gosh, I think I remember that in a Little House, right?
Yeah,
on a Little House episode.
That would have been in 1873 that Pop Ingalls was singing it. So you can see there's a lot of different interpretations of it. Sometimes efforts have been made by conservative folks to like clean up the lyrics because they thought the lyrics were too.
What do they think it means?
I don't know. Like I said, there's 1,000 different versions of the song, so some of them are a bit more raunchy than others.
Oh, that's right. I seem to remember "Pop Goes the Weasel" means to take acid. Right, dude, you gonna pop the weasel?
That means take acid. It doesn't sound like.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like how you would describe taking acid.
Yo, bro, we're popping the weasel tonight. Are you in?
Again, it sounds.
If someone came up to you at a concert, and everyone's just walking into the concert, let's say you're going to see Fish,
okay,
because you're going to go see Fish in a few weeks, and someone went up to you and said, "Hey, bro, you want to pop the weasel?" and held out their hand. There was a blue pill there. Would you take it? And you can't ask questions.
Yes, I would. I definitely would.
Okay.
Some stranger handing me a drug and I have no idea what it is or how it's going to affect me. Why wouldn't I take it?
So you'd pop the weasel?
I would totally pop the weasel. I'll be like, oh, dude, I was up all night popping the weasel. So you fall asleep in a Jack in the Box. So they get you out in the morning. You're like, pop.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Popping the weasel. I'm going to try to work that into one of my songs.
It sounds more like
popping the weasel.
To me, it sounds more like a euphemism for self-pleasure. Like,
oh, really? Oh, okay.
Like Sonny being like, hey, quit popping the weasel. Get to work. Like that kind of so like that kind
That's great.
Of a vibe.
Johnny, you look terrible. Do you spend time popping the weasel? Sure I do, Godfather. Good. Because the man doesn't pop the weasel.
That's why my voice is so weak.
It's great to wonder what that could mean in different settings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was popping the weasel. Now you get the hell out of here.
Just to show you I'm not hard-hearted, I've popped the weasel all over the world.
And she was Waltz International's greatest protege. Popping the weasel lessons, popping the muskrat lessons, popping the prairie dog lessons.
Prairie dog. Wow, that's a for westerns, I guess.
Yeah.
So
What else you got?
Well, anything else about Frankie before we move on to the main event of Merle?
Cheech. Let's talk about Cheech's reaction
Let's talk
to
about
Pop the Weasel.
Baby. Yes, what is he? Think he took it as an insult?
Well,
I took it as an insult.
I don't know. Frankie was certainly all broken up about it.
Mm-hmm.
He left the stage screaming, shouting,
Yeah.
disrespected. Everyone in the audience seemed to be having a great time with it, laughing, clapping, moving their bodies, except for Cheech.
Yeah.
He was just staring up at the stage, smoking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe he's just seen this is one of dozens of Frankie kinds of situations he witnesses every day. Cheech did laugh earlier when he made the Ritz cracker and chopped liver joke.
The can of peas.
Yeah, the can of peas. But I don't know. Maybe Cheech is just...
Well, or he knows that Frankie is mad, and so he doesn't want to be laughing because later on he'll be like, "What were you laughing at me for?" You know, so he just kind of has to be. Although I like your interpretation better that he's always getting into crazy mix-ups, and he's like the Larry David of the Corleone family.
Oh my gosh, that's the second character in 2 minutes who's been compared to Larry David.
Who is the other
Johnny
one?
Ola.
Oh, that's right.
So Johnny Ola, when you merge Johnny Ola and Frankie Five Angels, you have Larry David.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
You know, it would have been great when...
Pretty good.
I think if Frankie Five Angels goes on stage, he's like, "No, play! You, up, play!" Dun, 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 dun. And then the clarinet player and the brass start going, dun, 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 dun. Everyone's clapping along.
I love that music has become like you could take like a news clip and put that music behind it and it totally makes it seem like a Larry David thing.
What's great is it's the same tempo. They're both in 6/8 time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aren't a lot of those things from Curb from like operettas and stuff?
Probably.
So
yeah.
it might have a similar
Yeah.
origin.
Yeah, that's all I have about that segment. Then we transition to Michael's gloomy office.
Yes. Now, having watched the deleted scenes of Sonny's daughter Francesca coming and asking for permission to marry.
Mm-hmm. Does that happen before Connie and Merle show up?
I feel like it does.
Wow. He's seeing Sonny's daughter before he's seeing his own sister.
Well, but don't forget, she was late, too. So
oh, yeah.
She might have had an appointment earlier, and then it just got bumped to the back of the line.
Bumped to the back of the lobby. Sorry, bumped to the back of a lobby.
That's right. She got stepped over.
Yeah.
Basically. So I'm glad they cut that scene, though, because it seems a little... I think it's interesting seeing, and I guess the contrast of seeing, because Francesca's fiance is a fine arts major. And Mikey asks him like, "So what is how was a fine arts major going to earn a living, out there?" And then he's like, "Oh, well, I'm also independently wealthy because I have family money and stuff." And Mikey's very happy about that, and also plus he treats him very respectfully. So it's a nice contrast to this. But maybe having two couples doing doing engagement stuff is a bit much. Like, more or less back to back.
Yeah,
like that,
interesting.
So. Anyway,
that would be a stark comparison. The guy who comes from money, Sonny's daughter asking for permission.
Yeah.
Whereas Connie just barges in, asking, saying she's getting married. Merle is clearly a freeloader.
Yeah.
How about the stones on this guy, Alex?
Oh, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
There are 3 points I indicated him really being
What are
Very
your top? What are your
forward.
top 3 Merle Stones minute?
Coming in at number 3, he first he stays when Michael says, "I'll talk to my sister. I'll talk to my sister alone." And he's like, "Hey, this concerns me too." At least he asks. He says, he's like, "Is it all right if I stay?" Michael doesn't even answer.
He always puts his things in the frequently in the form of a question, maybe to make them less stony.
Yeah.
So what was the number 2?
Coming in at number 2, he asked for a drink right away.
Or something.
Yeah, or something. What is he asking for there? Like drugs or something?
I think he's asking for a drink.
Can I please have a drink or something?
The fact that he says "or something" does make it seem more aggressive. If he just said, "Hey, can I have a drink?" as opposed to "can I have a drink or something," makes it sound like he's like, I should be being served. Like my presence deserves some kind of can of peas or a drink or something. Oranges from Miami.
Orange. That one orange is getting a lot of mileage. Just keeps getting passed around.
When he said, "Can I have a drink or something?" Al should have started like squeezing, putting the oranges in the juicer.
I would just squeeze, please. I would just please squeeze Merle some fresh juice.
Merle some freshly squeezed orange juice.
I'll always squeeze his fresh juice for his partners.
That's why he's still here. He always made freshly squeezed orange juice for his partners. What was the third thing that?
And coming in at number 1 is why Merle is so forward and got stones. He calls Mama.
Oh, that was earlier.
Yeah,
right? I thought you were in this scene. Oh, yeah,
totally. When we pointed that out.
And that one, he kisses Mama. There's all sorts of.
He's like, "Oh my!" He's like, "Hi, Mama."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, Mama Mia."
Mama.
Yeah. He's,
this Merle.
He's got some.
And look at that bow tie, Alex. Bow tie in this scene. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Oh, okay.
For Merle, totally, it works for Merle. Gives him a kind of.
It works for him, or it's just like goes along with his nerdy appearance that you don't respect.
Well, no, I guess I don't respect him, but I feel like the bow tie works. It gives him like a boyish charm.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas if he was,
He's
which I guess
tall.
works against him because it does make him seem more. It does make him take him less seriously. The fact that he's wearing a bow tie. So.
Yeah, Fredo was wearing a bow tie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you ever show up and you're dressed like Fredo, you've made some bad decisions in your life. That not only are you dressed like him, but you're at the same party as Fredo.
Oh my gosh.
Which shouldn't stop people from going to Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse nightclub in the Facebook group.
Yeah, that's right. That's where our listeners post funny pictures, memes, and comments. And
do you have any updates from them for this episode?
You know,
it's okay if you don't.
We did stuff just a couple days ago, so I'll save them.
Right. You mean last week?
That's right, last week.
Yeah. Well, even before Merle's line about wanting a drink, I like when she says, "You've met Merle. You know Merle. You've met him in Vegas," and he says, "I saw him with you."
Yeah,
like he didn't actually meet him. He just saw him from like a distance, and so makes a point of saying like I never met him. It's kind of a nice little ring theory about Fredo denying ever knowing Johnny Ola.
Yeah. That's a great line.
And then he says, "Can I have a drink or something?"
Yeah. The very next line. Michael didn't want Merle to stay, but Merle stayed anyway. And then did you notice how Michael then speaks to Connie in Sicilian? It's another way to shut Merle out.
What does he say?
Que vuoi?
Which means what?
Like, I think that's like, what's going on? How's it going?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what's up?
Yeah. Like, what's up?
And then she says, "Al, would you make Merle a drink?"
Yeah, because Michael just ignores them.
Yeah. What kind of drink do you think Al makes? She doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything specific, or
what Al makes, or what Merle drinks.
Either way,
Al's from New York. He's a former cop. I would say the brown liquors, maybe like a whiskey or scotch.
But he's making it for Merle.
Oh man!
So does he give him like a Shirley Temple? Does he give him something like as a way of showing that he's not respected?
Oh man, what's the least respectful drink you could serve somebody?
I guess you could make just like a bad cocktail. You know what I mean? Like not the right proportions,
bad combinations.
Yeah,
just all kinds of like ginger ale and strawberries And
when I was in Montauk one time, I was at a bar at one of those hotels and stuff. And we were talking to the bartender, and he claims to have invented the Long Island iced tea. Montauk, New York is at the very end of Long Island, for those of you not familiar. And,
whoa, did you order it?
Of course we did. The inventor of the Long Island iced tea, and it was terrible.
Oh.
It was almost like he just took whatever bottles were almost empty and just kind of put them all into one. Like he was just saying, hey, you know what? I got a little bit of this left. I got a little bit of that left. It was terrible.
So do you believe he was the one who created the Long Island iced tea?
I think he believes he is the one who invented the Long Island. If that is the drink that he thinks is the Long Island iced tea, it's possible he did invent that drink and thinks it's a Long Island iced tea, but no one else makes it that way. It would never have become popular if that was what they were supposed to taste like.
Isn't Long Island iced tea just a mix of a bunch of liquors?
Yeah.
But done well so that it's balanced, right?
Yeah.
So I think what's funny is we've all come to know the Long Island iced tea as a drink that's somewhat tasty because over the years it's probably been perfected.
Right.
Whereas the original Long Island iced tea probably was the end of bottles. Someone just getting rid of liquor. So that guy probably did invent the Long Island iced tea.
Yeah. It was sad because we were, I think, like me and the other person I was with were the only people in the whole bar. So it wasn't like it was packed. Because obviously, if this guy had time to tell us the sob story about inventing Long Island iced tea, it's just like when Larry David met that guy who invented the Cobb salad, whose father invented the Cobb salad.
Wait a minute, why is that a sob story?
Well, because
you should be pumped, and he should be pumped.
Well, that's funny because I don't think you can get like royalties on a drink. So knowing that it was, but he definitely seemed like he had an air of bitterness about him. I guess because he was like, I'm the inventor of the Long Island iced tea, and here I am at a resort, and there's two people in the bar. Like I'm not.
That's what was in parentheses. Like I invented the Long Island iced tea, parentheses, and here I am.
Yeah, I think he called it the Long Island effin' iced tea.
Oh,
but he didn't use effin'.
He really did?
No, I was just kidding that he was that bitter about it, where he was like, so
congratulations.
So what do you think Merle drinks, to go with your other question? Was what does that make him, and what does Merle normally drink?
He's a freeloader, right? I could see him drinking the brown liquor, scotch, whiskey, bourbon.
Maybe it depends on who's buying. If someone else is buying, he's like, give me the Goldschlager or the the top shelf Johnny Walker Black or whatever.
Totally, yeah. Yeah. I could see. Yeah, I think he would drink anything.
Yeah,
when it came down to it. Is he one of those freeloaders that annoyingly has high standards? Like, thank you for the drink, but I don't drink that, even though he's a freeloader.
Yes.
He might be, right?
Well, because that makes Connie think that he has like taste.
Yeah.
If he is like, oh no, I don't drink any wine after 1942, so like that shows
it's a good move.
It's smart.
It's a smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you want to hook up with any Tina, Darlene, or Sally who walks by, I was trying to think of like Tom, Dick, and Harry, but with lady names. Then you can drink anything, because if you're just going for like low hanging fruit, but if you want to go for like Guinea Princess, then you got
spoil Guinea Brat Princess.
Spoil Guinea Brat Princess. If you really want to clean up, you gotta drink better quality.
Yeah, that's a smart move. Yeah, look at him. He's about to get a trip to Europe. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. I
not a lock yet.
When we were both watching it before we started recording, we both laughed at his line about, what do you come to me for? Why don't you go to a travel agent? I don't know why that's so funny. Exactly. Because
did we say that yet? Did we say what Connie's line was? She's like, the whole divorce thing. Have we gotten to that yet?
No. Well, he ends it by saying the ink isn't even dry. That's
right. So she says,
she says we're getting married.
He says, because we're going to get married.
Yeah.
He gives her a cold glance.
Yeah.
And then she says, we're going to Europe, and
we want to book passage
on the Queen.
Yeah.
So it got me wondering, when did calling or maybe, I haven't been on a real cruise. Do cruises still have names? The names of the boats
still have names.
So do people use them? Like, we're departing from Miami on the 23rd on the Kessel Run.
Now who's talking Star Wars? I feel like only people who are super into cruising, like if you think the person would know the difference between one Carnival cruise ship and another, but in casual conversation, that would seem very pretentious.
Do they all have names?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're all registered.
Like the entire Carnival fleet has an actual English name, or not just like a code number?
No, they'll make a big deal out of it because they'll be like, we're debuting our new thing, the Suncoast, and they'll say, oh, it has this.
But there's only one Suncoast?
Yeah, there's only one of each ship. They don't have it, so they don't have that many of them. It's
really,
yeah. I mean, each one has its own distinct thing.
Wow. Okay.
So
I assume that like planes, they just like mass produced.
No, I think they're more.
Versions.
I think because they're a bigger investment. That
it's a big deal,
and they're always trying to add new features and stuff. So whenever they do, they definitely want to distinguish their ships from the run of the mill.
Got it. Yeah.
So think of it, it's almost more like hotels than it is planes. Where like Las Vegas, when they open a new hotel, they try to point out all the new things that are in it and why it's better than the other ones.
It's like boutique hotels, not like when you said hotel, I thought like Super 8.
No, I mean like Las Vegas hotels.
Yeah,
because that is really, and that's kind of what they feel like too. So they feel like you're in a resort that's just in a small thing. You know. I think you should definitely. You and your wife should definitely try it.
I'll check it out.
So,
maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll book passage on the Queen.
Well, speaking of which, the one question I have is which Queen? There were two ships. There was the Queen Elizabeth and the Queen Mary, both of which were prestigious, high-end ships for their time. In fact, they both were owned by the same company, and they had I guess depending on what time of the week you were going. One time you could take the Queen Mary or you could take the Queen Elizabeth. The Queen Elizabeth ran from 1939. So let me do Queen Mary first because it's
Queen Mary.
Mary ran from 1936 to 1967, and currently it is in California, docked in California. You can stay on there like it's like restaurants and stuff like that. Wow. So the Queen Elizabeth ran from 1939 to 1968. And then it changed. They sold it, and it was just called the Elizabeth from 1968 to 1970. And then from 1970 through 1972, it was known as the Seawise University.
What?
A Hong Kong businessman purchased the Queen Elizabeth to turn it into a floating college campus.
Oh!
But unfortunately, due to there was an accident, and in 1972 it was sunk. So it was never. It never got to go.
It never had students.
I don't think it ever.
A registrar.
I don't think it ever made it all the way through. What do you think about that? Going to a cruise ship going to college on a cruise ship.
Well, got me thinking. They're probably
okay. That's.
You go. Okay,
no, you should tell them about that. Go to godfatherminute.com/support to hear the rest of the episode.